Coverage. I'm Manny MUA.
And I am Laura Lee.
And we're just a bunch of fools covering shit.
It was too much. It was too much.
The octaves were way too high for you, and my ear is about blown out.
I am so sorry for everybody watching and listening with headphones. Yes. I would like to formally apologize to you.
Formally. Yeah, huh?
Formulation.
Formula. Whoa. I lost my train of thought. Okay, wait, no, okay, so can we just talk about the fact that this is our first episode that we're actually filming since our first episode? What?
Oh, yeah.
No, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
Okay, no, it's like, this is our first episode. Like, the first 3 were pre-uploaded. Mm-hmm. So now we actually get to see the feedback.
This is our first episode where we get to talk about the feedback because we had pre-filmed so much before we released the podcast because we wanted you guys to be able to have consistent rolled out podcast episodes.
Yeah.
So now we're back in the studio and we're going to talk about these goddamn tablecloths.
Not the cloth.
Oh,
Not the cloth.
We're talking about it. We have been drug harder. My top, guys, if you see the tops of my bra, it's not
Let
me.
her have it. Let her have it.
Just let me have it.
Let her have
Don't
it.
comment about that either. Actually do. I don't care. The tablecloths.
You guys, if you
would
were
have
watching
thought
on
we
YouTube.
did something awful.
If you're watching on YouTube.
If you're watching on YouTube.
We have these tablecloths here, and the amount of comments we get about the tablecloths, how we don't iron the tablecloths. This isn't our studio, you guys. We are filming here, but this isn't our studio. We're actually working on it currently, though. So we will say that, like, we're actually currently working on the setup right now. Like, Laura bought a bunch of stuff last night.
Yep.
And I'm not paying her back for it.
He is, or I will sue him. I will sue him. And we'll make an episode about it.
I'll be selling Laura.
Yes. We're both building out a podcast studio, guys. This is so kindly. Our studio lets us use this space to get our podcast.
Studio
and we are
71.
so grateful. We're grateful for these tablecloths. We're grateful for these flat screens. Someone said y'all can afford 3 flat screens, but not a good tablecloth.
I'm like, they're not even our flat screen.
I'm like, these are not ours, but thank you.
Oh, my God.
We understand you're heated.
We understand your concern.
Passionate. About the tablecloths, but things are changing. Give us time.
We're working on it right now. This is episode 4.
We hear you. We see you.
It's so crazy, like the fact that this is episode 4. Like I feel like we just started the podcast journey. We're already on episode 4.
I agree.
Like that's wild to me.
Shocking.
And like we've actually been able to see episode 1, 2, and 3, and like see the feedback from it, and people seem to really be liking it.
Yes, we've gotten a ton. Also from other influencers. Like every time we hang out or we see someone, they're like, "Wow, I've really like." People are never like, "Wow, I watched your YouTube video. Your Instagram picture was so cool." But people are literally like, "Wait, let's talk about full coverage."
Which is kind of cool because it's like it's a whole different thing. It's such a different vibe. Like doing the podcast is such a different vibe for me, and it's a different vibe for Laura. I saw so many comments that were like, "I love seeing Laura curse," and I'm like, "I know this is like how Laura is. Like this is like the cool thing about it is like we're just like this, but on our channels we're a little bit more proper,
reserved, a little more proper,
good, brand deals. You know, you gotta be more brand friendly and aware."
But if you guys did hang out with me, that's what you would experience, a lot of F-bombs.
A lot of F-bombs.
Yeah.
A lot of F-bombs.
I've always cussed a lot.
I know. But it's just funny that like because people are so surprised because they don't hear you curse normally.
Shook.
They're like, why did she just say fuck? And
you know what's
because
crazy?
she always
My
says
niece
that.
Erin, she doesn't cuss in front of me.
Oh.
And it bothers me because she cusses with her friends, and I've seen her like on her like Finsta account like saying cuss words in a caption. I'm like, don't. But I'm like, why won't you cuss in front of me?
That's so weird that she doesn't cuss in front of you.
I know. And you know I'm a cusser, so
I know. You're your own crackhead.
I'm a sailor.
Like I can't. But we just want to say we're appreciative of all the feedback because we're looking through the comments and we're looking through the reviews. Like we want it to be like the most dope ass podcast that we can possibly make it.
And just give us a little time and we'll get there. But based off your feedback, it's very helpful.
You guys, today's main topic, I'm a little gooped, I'm a little gagged because it's gonna be basically about family vloggers and are they exploiting their kids?
Period. You said it. That's what it is. That's what our topic is today. We're going to be deep diving into that. A couple different scenarios that have come up recently. We're going to be talking about that. And we're going to talk about a little bit what goes behind the scenes of actually creating vlogs and stuff and like why we think it could be exploiting a little bit.
I mean, spoiler alert, I think it's exploitive for sure. But we're going to explain a little bit more like what we think about it. So it's definitely more of a serious topic, but I think it's a topic that definitely needs to be discussed, especially because we are influencers and we are in the space and you know, we see so much.
We know more because I have a full vlog channel. Like we know what it's like to film these types of videos and make these thumbnails and do all these things because we do them and we've been doing them for the past 8 years. So like I think it could be good to talk about from our perspective.
I mean, that's what this whole podcast is about, is just our perspective. It's just fun, sitting down, shooting the shit, but also like being able to tackle on big topics that we feel like actually do deserve to be discussed.
I feel like today is a big topic.
I do too, and I think it's really important to talk about, and I think that there should definitely be some change happening in the family space specifically.
Okay, but before we jump into that, let's talk about, we got some feedback and you guys want to hear more about us. So we're down. Manny, let's hear about a date you went on last night.
Okay, guys, so I've actually went on, in the last, I will say in the last 6 weeks, I've been on 3 dates.
And Manny has quit dating for a while now, so this is kind of a lot.
This is a big deal. 3 dates for me in 6 weeks is actually a shock to our systems here.
Yeah.
But I went on a date last night as well, and it was with the same guy I went on a date with on Friday or Thursday. So we had date number 2, and it was really good.
Which is kind of rare.
For me, you guys, I'm very after the first date, I'm like,
no, the situations you've described to me, there's no way in hell they would be getting a second date from me either. So I'm not gonna even say you're picky or like a prude.
But you know right away. I know right away.
People are crazy.
Yeah, but see, for me, I know right away if I'm gonna go on a second date. Almost halfway through.
There's 18 red flags.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, you guys, I went on a date recently that was pretty rough. Let's talk about the rough one.
Which one? There's 2.
I know, but there was the rougher one.
Date. I want to talk about that one.
Yeah, so we went out to eat, and he had DM'd me on Instagram, and usually I'm very aware of DMs. I'm like, you know who I am. For me, I always play into this I work in marketing on Google.
You like to find someone anywhere than online, than on social media, I should say.
I don't like them to know what I do.
Exactly.
I get freaked out that they're gonna use me in some weird way. I don't know. It freaks me out.
It's in the gay world, you wear makeup for your job, but you do not wear.
Not for a living.
Not for a living. Yeah, you're not gonna be going out to dinner and stuff wearing makeup. So
no.
It's
so I'm
that
scared
person
they're gonna think that.
They get the wrong impression of you.
Yes,
if they just follow you online.
Mm-hmm. And it's because it's almost this is what I do for. I mean, I guess technically it is what I do for a living, but it's not the life I live every day.
It's not.
It's just I'm a really, really casual guy, but I obviously turn it on and I'm glam and stuff like that. I do all that too, but I don't like them to have that impression of me. I want them to get to know me as Manny and not Manny MUA.
Exactly.
You know. So we went on a date, and when we were talking, he would send these massive paragraph text messages.
He just scrolled through.
I just scrolled.
It was shocking how much he would type to Manny, and Manny would hit him with about
one. That's so crazy.
And another paragraph would come through.
6.
6.
6 paragraphs. So
shocking.
I was I should have known this was gonna be an awkward situation. So we go to dinner, and I've never met anyone that talked more than he did in my entire life, in the way of on a date. I didn't even know someone could talk that much physically.
Did you assume, due to the text, that the date was going to go somewhat like this?
I didn't. I just thought, maybe he's just a really long texter.
Yeah.
It's fine. Maybe he just texts a long time. This was a whole different situation. I'm talking to the point where I told Laura that we both ordered the same thing. I had finished my entire meal, and he had taken one bite of his.
I feel if I were in your situation, I would literally start to have a really bad anxiety attack.
I was.
Because I would feel like I'm about to be trapped there all night because this dude ain't eating.
He's not eating.
So how am I getting out of this?
So then what happened was, what really weirded me out, this is the part, that kind of freaked me out, was when he's he stops talking, mid-sentence, and he's like, okay, so what I tell my friends is that I will be eating because I don't like to talk and eat at the same time. So I need you to talk now the whole time, and I'm just going to eat, and I won't say anything while you talk.
So this bothers me a lot because I feel like this is a controlling thing, and I would be like, sweetheart, you're not going to tell me
when
I'm going to be talking and when you're going to be talking. We can talk back and forth organically, or I don't need to be here.
Exactly.
Because I felt like that was his way of kind of controlling you, and maybe he doesn't even see it that way. He probably doesn't. But that is controlling.
But it is a definite weird control, needing to be in this thing, and it was so weird because I almost felt like I got put on the spot. I have to tell a story so he can eat his food while I'm talking.
Oh.
And so it was just it was just those kind of awkward instances just kept happening, and finally I was okay, let's go. We literally the last people in the restaurant. I'm trying to leave, and so we were outside, and he kept bringing up more stories, and so I ended up standing outside by my car for 40 minutes.
Oh,
because he kept talking, and I didn't want to be rude, and I want to be okay, I gotta go bye. I wanted to, but I don't want to be rude on a date.
Is this person lonely and doesn't have someone to talk to?
Correct.
Okay, got it.
I think I don't know their life. It was our first date, but I could only imagine.
Yeah.
But it was rough. So that was one of my rougher experiences, and this is like in the past couple weeks.
What about this new date?
It was good.
Oh,
Because I've been on dates with 3 different guys, right? So one guy was like that one. It was just rough. The second one, not as terrible, but definitely not good.
Yeah.
And this one was like good, like rating wise, it's rated.
You're getting there.
We have like the first one was like a 3 out of 10.
Girl,
bad.
A mess.
The next one was like 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Not as bad. This was like I would say like an 8 or a 9.
Ooh, oh my
so that's
God.
Like,
this was
great.
really good. Is he cute?
I think he's really cute.
Oh, can I ask where you met this person?
So the gag is, I don't want to like call it out like crazy or anything like that, but I commented on his TikTok.
What?
And he DM'd me on Instagram and was like, "You just like commented on my TikTok." And I was like, "Yeah, I think that's really dope, like the story that he had said." And then we just started talking, and that's kind of like how it happened. Which was like kind of wild. I'm like, dude, like what? It was like almost like it felt like real.
Yeah, very
like
real.
Felt really real. So we've been on 2 dates already, and it's like gone really well. And I don't want to like say too much, obviously, because I don't like to like, I don't know. I'm like this type of weird person where I like don't like to say too much about something.
Yeah.
Because then I get like my hopes up in like this weird way, and like I'll build it up, and like if
it builds it up
talk
more,
too much,
the more you talk about it, the more it builds it up.
If I talk about it too much, like I get built up, and then something bad happens. It's like having to explain to your friends, like, yeah, it didn't work.
Because they're gonna ask. Well, I quit asking.
I know. Laura's really great about it because she used to be the type of person that would paint a picket fence for me after date 1.
I would literally be planning the wedding.
She literally, after date 1, planning the wedding. But like, it's because you're happy for me and you're excited.
I know. I get really excited.
But so it's good. So I'm just gonna kind of keep it good, keep it going. I'm not gonna put any pressure on it. I feel like pressure in dating is like the worst thing. So I just want to be like very just pressure free.
That makes me really happy.
Thanks.
Tell
me about your week.
What did I do this week?
What didn't you do?
Oh my God. See, that's very me.
Yeah, I know.
By the way, guys, I'm a workaholic. Mm-hmm. Manny's used to that. I've been a workaholic since the day you've met me.
Absolutely.
Nothing has changed. I went to Joshua Tree at the end of last week. Wait,
and
it's Monday. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that this week? It was really good. We had a great time. I love being in the desert. It's so peaceful. Plus, I love heat.
It's a sickness.
It is a sickness.
You guys, it's a sickness.
Laura love warmth. I love heat. I love warm air, and you get a lot of that in the desert.
She likes hot air.
I like hot air.
That's when you know she's unwell.
It feels like a hug from the earth.
Okay. Mother Nature.
Yeah. And then I worked all weekend, and then Sunday I spent it redoing my office at Larley, Los Angeles. I finished that this morning.
Oh my God, already?
I finished it.
In one day?
Well, technically, kind of, because I worked all day Sunday and then a half day today on it to add the finishing touches, and it's done.
And you're obsessed.
I'll show it to you. I have a video of it, but that video is coming out on my channel. You guys will see that. And then I got ready and came here. But also, we launched brushes with Larley, Los Angeles.
Yes, that sold out, mind you.
They sold out, guys.
They're so gorgeous.
Thank you.
I'm obsessed with them, seriously.
They're coming back in January, and we don't have all the brushes, but we do have a couple of them in individual stock.
Yeah.
But there are slim pickings on the website.
Yeah.
but they're coming back in January. That's a really long time away, so I'll remind you guys in January. But tell me what's happening with Lunar.
We have a launch coming at the end of this
month.
What
are you launching?
I'm not going to say. What the fuck?
I'm just trying to get good content for the podcast.
I know. No, but honestly, you guys, so what I will say, like pod exclusive, I guess, is that like, obviously I came out with Moonspell a few years ago. This is in that realm. It's in that
I'll tell you guys what it is.
Don't you dare. It's in that realm. So it's definitely going to be along the like lines of it being more of like an October Halloween-y type launch.
So you have a launch coming in October, you say?
At the end of this month or early October. It's one of those.
Right
like, depending
around the
on
corner.
It's right around the corner. It's literally like weeks away.
We love it.
Super,
so guys,
stoked.
be on the lookout for that.
Lookout,
LunarBeauty.com. I repeat, LunarBeauty.com.
LaurieLosAngeles.com. Okay, guys, by the way, we're also going to be doing, of course, the secret segment at the very end. We have our main segment, and then we have the secrets at the end, so don't forget to stay tuned
for that, because you're going to want to hear these secrets that I don't even know what they are yet.
Y'all, like, the secrets, I can't.
They get out of control.
Do you know what I was thinking? Like, we talked about this earlier. It's like, what if we had it where they could, like, people can send us our secret, like, the secrets audioly.
Oh yeah, we want you guys. So we're asking a lot from you guys, but we're asking a lot. We want, like, if you want advice or a secret. So basically, you could tell us your secret, and then we would pick you, and you could send a voice note.
Yeah, if you want us to like,
we want your voice on this.
Yeah, like we would literally play you to the microphone and be like, you can say your secret. And if you don't want to do a voice, that's totally fine. But I think it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
And a way to be like included in that way, or asking for advice, and it would be your voice.
It would still be anonymous.
Absolutely.
So it would just be your voice. So if you're comfortable, if some of you guys are comfortable with it, let us know. We'd love to get your voice on camera.
We always need more backstory. That's why.
We need more backstory because then we have to make assumptions and we don't like doing that. Exactly. Or like with the situation with advice, we're like, well, is it like this or like that? We feel like we could get more information and dive a little deeper.
Yeah, and a minute voice note. Come on. That's way more to get. You can get more out, you know?
Exactly.
But that's just like a little thing that we were thinking about doing. What do you guys think? Let us know if you guys want to include your voices. That'd be fun. Okay, let's start off.
All right, our main topic today. So basically, the thing that prompted this episode was Sam's page. She posted, here for the tea, she had posted Jordan Cheyenne getting her son to make certain poses to look very sad for a thumbnail. I believe their dog died.
The dog is like sick.
The dog was sick. The dog did not die. The dog was sick, not doing well. So they kind of talked about that. I assume in the vlog. I didn't watch the vlog.
Same.
And then it led to, I guess she left the footage in the video.
I think she forgot to edit it out.
She forgot to edit out the footage of her getting her thumbnail, which was her asking her son to make poses of crying and being sad and them being really sad, which did go on for quite a long time. But I'll say this, I've never met Jordan, but I have talked to her.
No way.
Years and years ago. I feel like I remember like DMing with her a little bit because we were both coming up on YouTube. She's had her YouTube channel for a really long time. And we were both, so we would like talk a little bit, but I haven't talked to her in probably like 4 or 5 years. So I didn't really know what was going on in her world. Right. I didn't know that she had like, I guess a family channel.
Yeah, like a vlogging family channel.
It's a vlog channel. So I was really interested to see this.
But the video, like honestly, when I first watched it, I saw it on Twitter. Okay. And then I saw it on Sam's page too.
That's
and
right.
Then I was
told
like,
me you saw it on Twitter.
I felt like honestly like physically ill. Like it made me feel very uncomfortable because I had, not only did I feel bad for the kid, I had like secondhand embarrassment like at the same exact time because it was like the part that broke me. This is the part that made me sad. Like, cause like if the kid's acting, the mom's acting, like they're all acting and it's like a show, then like, okay. But the fact that the kid was like, I'm really crying, like I'm really upset. Like when she's like, no, do this. And she's like coaching him to do this like sad thumbnail, this sad situation. She's like, no, like come lean on me, cry more, have your mouth up, like these things. Yeah. He's like, Mom, I'm sad. Like I'm crying for reals.
How old do you think her son is?
I have no idea.
Just for context.
I have no idea. But he looks like he's like 10.
He does look young.
Like a very young kid. And so that's the part that really, really made me upset. I was like, dude, like for you to like be coaching him when he's already upset is like what part that felt really weird to me.
And honestly, if she had just like held the camera up and they were sad talking,
right? Screenshot it, baby.
Screenshot it. And you know, okay, every YouTuber's done that. You know, looked a little sad or just like did a screen grab that's like would be more appealing for clicks. But the thing that stood out for me is it did go on for a long.
It was long.
What felt like a really long time, like of the posing. And I even said to Manny watching, I said, "Girl, you got the shot. Why do you keep on?
Why are you harboring for like this like weird like you're trying to pull out this like
eradicate
weird
emotion?
Yes, like she's trying to like pull out this emotion out of it, and it made me just feel so uncomfortable. I felt so uncomfortable, and I just felt so sick. And like the gag is like when I'm watching that, like because she left it in on accident, obviously. Could you imagine like how many things like this happen but like are edited out of family vlogging videos?
Oh, wow, yeah.
And that's like kind of what prompted us to have this conversation because it's like, who is protecting these kids? Yeah. At the end of the day, like genuinely, like obviously like as a parent, you're gonna be protective of your kid, but like who is there advocating for the kids?
There's no one.
And I don't believe anyone.
Not in the YouTube space.
Not in the YouTube space.
There's no one in the YouTube space. Now, in the traditional world, meaning movies, TV shows, that world, acting, singing, there is.
Yes. There's like a whole, like, there's very specific rules.
A lot of laws with children acting and things like that.
About you can be only on set for a certain amount of time. You have to do like schooling in between. Like there's like these very, very strict guidelines for kids in like traditional Hollywood world. But now that YouTube's coming up and like it's becoming its own thing in this social media world, when are the things going to be? When are the guidelines going to start appearing for kids?
My thing is, it's like I don't know. It's a hard conversation because the story developed a little further. Jordan's had this channel, I know, for at least as long as I've had mine because I used to talk to her so long ago, like in the earlier stages of my channel. She had over 500,000 subscribers. She deleted her whole channel.
Wow, like that's insane. Like I didn't.
She did say, like, I guess, I don't know. Was it a lot of hate? that she got because of this. Like, a lot of people were upset by the video, and so it caused her just to delete the channel entirely.
It probably was that. I think that had a lot to do with the fact that, like, she was getting death threats and, like, those kind of crazy things, which are they take it way too fucking far. Always. Every fucking time.
Every time.
Like, obviously the situation is horrible and it's gross. Like, I obviously felt uncomfortable, but she doesn't need exactly.
Like, this is like ludicrous.
Like, the kid is physically okay.
Literally.
So it's like people take it to this whole different level, and it's like also horrible because it's like I would feel like wanting to delete my channel too if I had a child on my channel that like people can like find your address online.
Yeah.
Like, it's scary to think that like these kids could be susceptible to things because they're living their life online with their family.
It does seem to show that she would kind of do whatever she needed to do to protect her child since this situation came out. Like, she went as far as to delete an entire
the whole channel, not just the videos of him, the whole channel.
The whole channel for years. So it does seem like as a mother, she would kind of do what she needs to do to protect her child.
Yeah.
So that's good. I hate that she had to delete her whole channel because, like, again, I don't believe in cancel culture, and I believe she could learn from this situation and then do it over again and do it right. Like, we all make mistakes. She made a big mistake here. It went on way too long, and even then, it's like, I don't know. You definitely don't have to have a child do all that to get views on a video. Like, you don't. Like, I've made over 1,000 videos on my channel, and I know you don't have to do all that to get a thumbnail. So it was just like kind of, it was very cringy. Hate it watching it, hate it seeing it.
Same. I will say, though, I do appreciate the fact that she apologized.
Did she?
She did. She did apologize for it. She did a whole video. She was like, honestly, I fucked up.
Like on her Instagram?
I think she made a video about it.
On YouTube?
Her channel
and
is gone,
then
so you can't really tell. So, but she did have a video up that was like, I take full responsibility. Like, she really did own up her shit.
That's good.
Which I very much appreciate it. But the thing is, when you're doing a video talking about owning up your shit and you bring in the whole like, but no one deserves to get death threats. It kind of throws the people's mind into like being like, oh, feel bad for me.
Yeah.
And like, you kind of can't do that when you're like just trying to own your shit. You shouldn't be like being like, oh, but like, don't send me mean comments and death threats because that's really inappropriate. I mean, which obviously it is, but in that situation, you gotta just own your shit
and just say sorry.
And you move forward, and your actions always speak louder than words.
But we've been through the thick of it, and we learned that the hard way.
We learned it literally the hard way, and that's why like I feel like even talking about these things is like, you can't be making these kind of apology videos and being like, but like X, Y, and Z. It's like, no. You own your shit.
It's so hard because when you're in the situation, you're like, listen, I fully understand where I went wrong, but I'm not going to kill myself, so please stop asking me to. Totally. But the problem is, like, you can't say that second part.
No
one wants to hear it.
No one wants to hear it because they want to hear you own your shit, and they want to hear what you're going to be able to do to move forward and make it, like, you
better.
Making amends for what the action was. How are you going to fix it? You can't just, like, go, because then it starts to be like, because when you say things like that, it starts to be like, oh, well, like, feel bad for me because I'm getting these threats.
Right.
And it's like, you're deviating from the situation.
Yeah.
And you have to stay focused on what it actually is.
Yeah.
And that's what the issue was. And I will say I appreciate the fact that she did apologize because I think that's absolutely so commendable. And apologizing is hard. As human beings, like, we don't want to admit that we're wrong.
I can imagine how hard it was to make that video.
Oh, me too. Especially because it revolves your own child.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have kids that came out of us.
I'm sure she's not an evil person. I'm sure she doesn't have ill will to like force her child to do crazy things. I think she had a lapse of judgment.
You get caught up.
She got caught up. And baby, nothing will catch you up quicker than social media views, clout, trying to have the success of it. But I think a single mom.
I don't know.
I think she is. I could be wrong on that, but I think she's a single mom, and I can't imagine doing that and trying to make ends meet. So you can get caught up in these situations where you may have a lapse of judgment and make bad decisions.
And I think that because obviously the situation with the dog was like a whole different stressor on them. I can't even imagine the kind of stress, like having like your pet being in the hospital, like how stressful that situation would be. And like having that stress combined with social media and like doing all these things, like you do get caught up in it.
Yeah.
But I don't think or don't want to think that she's a bad person at all.
Yeah, me either.
Like, I don't want to think that. I always give people the benefit of the doubt.
I honestly cannot remember specifically my conversations I had with her a long time ago. But if I was talking to her, it's probably because I enjoyed her channel, enjoyed her and didn't think that she was a bad person. So, and I don't think she's a bad person. I think she made a big mistake and she's gone now, though. Yeah. So...
Which is like also wild in itself.
It's so wild to see someone delete their whole channel.
Yeah. We'll have to like do a follow-up on it if she comes back or something like that. Like,
Can you bring your channel back?
I have no idea. Or starting a new channel. I have no idea.
Golly.
Like, I have no idea.
That's a lot of
work. But if she does, you guys will definitely give you like a follow-up on the pod.
Yeah.
If like things were to come from that.
I do hope the best for her and her child overall.
Me too. I think that she definitely, I mean, like, just from when she was talking about, like, she owned her shit. And I think that she said, she's like, I'm never going to have him in my channel again.
Oh, she doesn't have to do that. It's like a part of her life, you know? But I know whenever you're in the heat of the moment, you're like, I will do whatever to show that my child comes first.
Absolutely.
And she's clearly trying to do that, but... Yeah.
But to her, that's probably her thinking like, well, this is like the most I can possibly do to appease people in this moment. And maybe she feel like, you know, and maybe like having him in her channel did like cloud her judgment in some way. Who knows? Like, I don't know her life. Yeah. I can only like just kind of, you know, sympathize with certain situations going on. But I think I think it's good. I think it's good that she is taking a little break. I think taking a break is super important.
I think it is too, because honestly, whenever you're getting that much backlash, it is hard to function. Speaking from experience,
as a human being,
you cannot function. You cannot think clearly. Nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
And you can't figure out how to fix it. Your brain is going 100 miles per hour at all times, but yet your nerves are at the very end, and you are in your worst mental health. So it's a really bad time to try to, I don't want to say fix anything, but try to help the situation. So the break is where you can let that calm down and really start thinking clearly.
Yeah, it's like fanning the flame. Yeah. When you start to try to like, you know, fix everything, you know, so-called fixing, quote unquote. It's fanning the flame, and you got to really just take a second back and just focus on you and take a mental break of like, okay, this is what happened. I have to evaluate it for myself and figure out what's going on. And then we can move forward.
Okay, let's talk about a much, much, much bigger family vlog channel that just got in some hot water for a thumbnail scandal.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes, another thumbnail scandal.
This is the LeBrants, right?
The LeBrants. So I would say the Ace family and the LeBrant family are the two biggest. They are the two biggest family vlog channels. Some may have more subscribers, but if we're talking about viewership and integration, they are the two biggest.
What is a family vlogging channel?
A family vlogging channel is where basically it's like a reality TV show for people who have a number of children in their family, and they film specifically with their children in every video.
And it's basically about them and their kids' lives, and it's showing everything in the whole process of their kids growing up. And it's basically like, when you think about it in a real way, like, it's so invasive in this like weird way. Like, it makes me feel like, oh my God, if my parents posted all my home videos from when I was 3 years old, making like a fool of myself, and me seeing it now, I'd be like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Because it feels like it's almost like invasive in a weird way, because they have no say. They're your kids.
Yeah. And they don't care at the time being, because that's all they know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an interesting world. I'm not against family vlogging, but again, there does need to be regulations, and it's like a space where it's like a gray area, because it's like, you know, a lot of it isn't good and a lot of it can be great. And I think there's like this amazing, like, I don't know, people like love it. Like they love to watch it. And I think it's because people have families and they like to see how other families live. It's relatable. They don't want to watch a 20-year-old bop around LA getting fast food and buying clothes. Right. That's not their life. They want to watch a real family raising kids, because that's what they're doing. And that's really cool that we have that space. But of course, everything in moderation. And I feel like we've definitely crossed the line of that
multiple times.
So the LeBrant family just got in trouble because they made a thumbnail and like a video title that alluded to one of their children having cancer, which was not the case at all. Oh my gosh.
And it's so not okay. It's so not okay.
So the dad put out Cole. Okay. He put out an apology. I believe that's his name.
Okay.
Oh my God, what if it's not?
No, I think it is. I feel like it is. I feel like it is.
Like, wow. He's going to be like, thanks a lot.
He's like, dang, it's not even a
name. He had to go out and put out an apology on his IG story and change the thumbnail of the video. But I'm like, dude.
See, this starts to remind me of when like Logan Forrest situation, where it's like where it's like you're going on this path and you're just trying to get more views and how much more intense can I make this video, and like clickbaiting that your child has cancer is a fucking
it's never okay,
whole different situation, and it's not okay. Like See, this is where I'm talking about like the exploitation. And listen, me and Laura are coming from a place of like, we're YouTubers. We don't have our own personal like little kids like this. We can't be like, you can't have a channel. Like, we are not doing that.
Yeah.
But it's just like our personal opinion as people who do social media for a living and know how much work that goes into it.
It kind of seems like there begins to get, with anything, a little greed behind it, because it's like you already have these huge successful channels, and now you're willing to take it to, you know, have no judgment there and take it to no end to keep those views going instead of just being honest.
And just honestly being content and happy with what you have at that moment.
Yeah.
Which is like honestly a big part of, I feel like, our growth is like we are happy with how things are.
Yeah.
Like we're content and we're happy, and we obviously of course want things to be better, but we're not like doing the craziest things to get views anymore.
Yeah.
Like we're not doing those kind of crazy things.
Mm-mm.
Where it's like I think that you kind of fall into that when you're always chasing the views.
When you're chasing those views, you will fall into it. Ace Family does it too. I mean,
Girl.
we're not going to like just skim right over them and pretend like they're angels.
They absolutely do. And the thing is, it's funny because I know recently I saw a thing where Catherine, she's like, we never clickbait our channel. I'm not kidding. She literally said this in a video. She's like, we never clickbait our videos. Thank God we don't do that. And I'm like, of course you do.
You have the craziest thumbnails and titles
like,
I've ever
are we
seen.
not on the same plane?
Wavelength here?
Are we on the same plane? Because you absolutely do.
Yeah.
And that's just Fendi facts.
So I think there's a lot going on with family channels, and we keep getting little glimpses of it, and it seems to get uglier and uglier the more we see.
I know, because I think you're starting to like. It's like almost like the wool is being. It's like the sheet.
The thing.
It's getting thinner and thinner. Maybe the ozone layer gets thinner and thinner.
The ozone layer will be gone soon.
I mean, literally, that's a whole different conversation.
That's going to be an episode
that's a whole different
some
conversation.
People aren't ready for.
Yes, that's a whole different conversation, but it will happen.
So let's talk about, because you know what vlogging is. I know what vlogging is. How much work goes into vlogging. So you guys see these little families holding up these cameras, hee hee ha ha, posting a 20-minute video or however long their video may be. And that's all you see. And it seems totally fine. What's the issue?
But there's so much more things that are being recorded. So usually when you're getting, let's say, a 20-minute vlog, you're probably recording like hours worth of footage to get that kind of content fit into a 20-minute thing, because you're like, you only trying to take the best moments to put into this vlog. So imagine, like, let's say like a kid's like, oh, but I don't want to do that today.
Oh, too bad.
What happens? Like, does a parent be like, well, too bad you're gonna film today?
Oh, I don't know.
See, that's like that's like the weird thing.
It's like a worrisome thing.
That's like a worrisome thing, right?
Where there should be like some regulations there.
Yes.
I mean, I guess not regulations like if you don't want to film today, you don't have to do anything today. You know what I mean? Might be like, no, you're gonna enjoy the family and be with us. Now, we did look up a lot of vlog family channels that aren't as big as these getting millions of views, and it seems like they only post like once a month,
once a week,
and it's like, that's fine.
I mean, that I feel like that's
a family
I don't feel like that's
activity.
Exploiting.
There's no way.
I don't feel like that's exploitation if you're using their kids.
Because that means one day out of 7 days in that week, you guys are doing something on camera. It's fine.
It's fine. Like that, I think that's a whole different situation. But I think that's like if you're uploading 3 to 4 times a week.
Jesus.
With the kids.
That's work. And let me tell you, these family channels, it's not scripted, but they all have a plan. So it's not like they're just picking up the camera, filming a video for you. They have a plan for that day. And I don't want to say they're acting, but they're putting on a show.
Yeah, they're putting a
show on for you.
You know, it is just weird because you start to think of like, okay, well then when a kid is like, let's say a newborn, like recording stuff like that, it's fine. Like the kid depends on you. It's not like the kid can even say anything, right? It's just like, oh, we're just like, that's literally family videos. Like at that point, it's like you're just recording a newborn. It's like cute. It's whatever. Like that's fine. You're not exploiting it. Like I don't think it's exploiting in a way because you're not forcing the kid to do anything.
Yeah.
But when you get into like toddler phase where it's like 5, 6, 7,
doing things
when they start doing things for you, and where they can like start bringing in, or like I don't know, whatever it might be, it starts to get a little hairy because it's like, well, what if the kid doesn't want to film that day? That's kind of like the weird situation where it's like, are you asking your kid to film too much and to be on too much, where it's like can affect them growing up, right? And also like, is it affecting their actual childhood? No, I get it, because you got to think, are they homeschooled? Because like that's I would think some of them are. I would think so definitely. Too. But then I feel like, does that not take away from their actual childhood? Are they homeschooled? But see, I don't know if they're homeschooled. None of them may be. Yeah, maybe they're not. But I will say this:
Now, them doing it does give the child a better life tenfold. Like
100%.
Like they have a ton of money. The child is definitely going to grow up with the children are going to benefit, and they're going to benefit in the long run. It's the exact same thing, because I was thinking about it. It's literally the same thing as child star. A child star, their parents make them the star. The child never wakes up one morning and is like, I want to be an actor and you're going to make me. No, it's always the parents that do it and like put their children into them. Yes.
They're like,
and so many
do that,
like literally benefit off of it and become famous. Look at Ariana Grande. I mean, there's so many, and they're fine, and they are famous for the rest of their lives, and they seem to be somewhat grateful for it, because they now don't have to work a regular job. They now can follow a passion or dream and make a ton of money doing it and have all that fame. But a lot grow up and they never want to be famous anymore. And that's fine too, because a lot of them vanish.
Totally.
They just quit, which is an option. So I do feel like they are trying to set their children up for success. Hopefully. I mean, God, I don't know.
We can only pray.
You know, in that way, that child already has like a following and kind of a career started where they can like passionately live out a dream rather than join the workforce. But if that child grows up and doesn't want that, then they will have to go into hiding.
Right. Or like,
because they will be so known.
Right. And then like, it's like, is the parent going to be like, no, well, you can't like leave, or you can't like do X, Y, and Z. And that's why I think it is important to have like things in place, because like even like when we're talking about like Ariana Grande or actors and child actors and stuff like that, like again, there's all these rules in place for child actors and, you know, kids on movies, and like there's just so many different stipulations. But don't you think that social media should have their own version of stipulations for the kids?
Absolutely.
And like, what could that be?
But especially it's like these vlog channels that get so big. It's like so intense. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like there definitely should be a regulation. The only thing is like there's no way in hell YouTube is ever going to be like, we're going to send someone out to your house. Because the thing is, when they film and do music, kids do. It's on sets where there is legally someone there. Whereas vloggers, it's more free. And so it's like a hard space. Like, how would you actually
regulate it? I don't know.
Right.
That's like, I feel like that's like where the conversation is that like,
let's open the conversation. But I'll be honest, I don't know.
I don't either. I don't know
like
either.
How they would do that.
I saw a friend of mine, Hannah Smoky Glow, uploaded a couple months ago about child vlogging and like a video about child vloggers and, you know, about family channels, and she had like suggestions in that video, and I remember watching it and being like, this is really, really smart to have these different kind of different like rules and speculation, but I don't know how any of those can be implemented. That's the hard part. Is
There's
that like you can
also channels that's not even vlog channels. Like look at Ryan. He's one of the most earning channels on
that's opening
YouTube
toys
that has ever, and is a kid opening toys. I'm not trying to allude to anything, but I mean the kid does put in a lot of work. So it's like it's not just family vloggers. It's anybody who has a child that they are uploading videos of that child on YouTube. There does need to be a regulation. I don't know what that looks like.
I don't either. I think there's definitely something to like, okay, the idea of let's say that the parents aren't in it for the right reasons. Like let's just say a random family. We don't know anyone, obviously.
Okay.
But let's say like, is there a direct stipend for the kid for when they grow up, when they're 18?
I think they're definitely, the kid needs to be getting a cut.
They need to be getting a cut.
But the child actors, I think they have to be like a certain age to get a cut. So I was listening to Mila Kunis was a child actor. Her parents, I believe they came from Russia. I listened to her on a podcast, and she was a child actor, and she wanted it and loved it, like every single drop of it, and like always wanted it. It's what her parents wanted her to do, and it's what she ended up wanting to do.
Yeah.
So it worked out, but it was something with the money. I can't remember. Like a certain age, you get to start getting a percentage of your earnings.
But YouTube doesn't do that.
I know.
So like I bet actors do have some type of rule in place in some way that they are able to get,
but
like
not on YouTube.
But on YouTube. And that's why it's like, well, if you're including the children in every single thing, shouldn't there be an account specific for the children? Like for like we're not saying pull it out at 5.
Yeah.
Like fill out the money and like they can do whatever they want, but like maybe at the age of 18 like it goes into effect and they can pull out that money for like college fund.
Because I'm going to say this, and I may not know what I'm talking about here, so I'll disclaim that, but the Ace family clearly has made millions. They have 3 kids now, multi-millions, but yet every day is their house is being foreclosed. This is happening. He's being sued for $100 million. So these kids are going to do all this and walk off with nothing? I don't know. That may not happen. They may walk off with millions, but what it seems like is happening is like,
well, if the parents are sued for all the money that they're worth and all the kid, mind you, the kids are really, really young, and we're not saying that they're like, put to work. We don't know their life or anything like that. But like, shouldn't they get something?
Yeah.
If they're grown, if they're helping the parents' channel grow,
yeah,
and it becomes a family channel, shouldn't the kids get something?
And legally there should be
or there should be some type of like rule on like YouTube where it's like, are you a family channel?
Right.
Like click.
Right.
And like different rules go into effect for a family channel, let's say, than like a single vlogger.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there should be like little stipulations and different little things that can go into effect for them.
To protect the kids.
You know what I saw recently?
Oh my God,
that was kind of cracking me up.
What?
So they were...
Who?
So you know how Austin basically always has like cheating rumors against him?
Always.
Like literally
Period.
9 times out of 10.
You can literally Google his name. This is
Cheating
not
rumors.
This is not new news.
This isn't new news. There was a video, and it was Catherine, and she was like walking to her car, and it was like the paparazzi following her.
Okay.
And they're like, hey, so what do you think about the cheating rumors? And she's like, no, it's like, it's not happening. Da da da. She was very just like,
whatever,
like,
dismiss.
And he's like, well, what do you think about Tana and Trisha like calling you out and stuff like that? And she's like, I don't know who they are. Thank you so much. She's like, I never heard of them.
Just like you haven't heard of the cheating rumors.
Yeah, and it was just funny to me because it gave me such a reminder of like, Mariah is very like, I don't know her.
Oh yes,
I don't know her.
I don't know her.
It was very like, I don't know her, and I'm like, baby, I know you know exactly who they are, but it's just like funny that was like the answer, and like it just like because I feel like they're always in the news for something.
Always, and you'll never get an answer out of any of them.
No, but it's also like in a way, like. For them not answering those kind of questions, let's say if they don't want to address, like, let's say Austin cheating.
Yeah.
But, like, that could be them protecting their kids, too.
Yeah, right.
You know?
I mean, because their kids are going to have to grow up.
With that. Like, let's say they're 18 years old and, like, or they're in school and they're like, oh, is it true that your dad was, like, a cheater?
Do you know what I think? I'm just going to throw in Laura thoughts. I think that he has probably ran around so much that I think they're in an open relationship.
Probably.
And because they run this family
channel. Is
channel.
Is our speculation?
This is speculation.
With peace and love, this is our speculation.
This is me speculating.
Yeah.
So I think that they run this family channel, so they can't openly say we're in an open marriage where we kind of do whatever we want. But I think they're in an open. I think their marriage is open.
I mean, even if it's not, and she's not open.
Okay.
If he is, I feel like she knows something.
Girl,
she knows something, Lord. And you can't convince me she doesn't.
No,
period.
Absolutely.
Or she's just like trying to be.
I think she doesn't care.
Oh, I think so. I don't think she cares.
I
either.
genuinely think she doesn't give a shit. Like
I think that
she's
they're in it for
the coin.
It's an act.
It's an act. It's all an act. Collect the checks. Honestly, it's not. It is stupid, but it's not stupid. It's a business move.
I mean, for them, it literally is a pure business.
It is a business. They are running a business.
So we think this is all speculation. Our opinion, allegedly.
Yeah. Yes.
We're not gonna get sued for this podcast.
I wish more drama channels would announce when they're speculating instead of just speculating.
This is our speculation.
We're speculating.
Yeah, we're currently speculating.
You guys can join us in the comments.
No, because we like. This is the fun part about getting to do the pod with Laura is that like conversations that we're able to have and like we think about these things and we'll like say them out like well, what do you think? And it's always like, well, what do you think? Because we don't know, right?
Yeah.
We don't know the answers to all these things. So it's fun for us to be able to open the conversation to you guys too. Like, well, what do you guys think? In the comment section, like if you're watching on YouTube, you got to comment or leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, wherever it is. We just kind of like to have the open topics of discussion,
right? Because
we feel like, especially after the whole Jordan Cheyenne thing, and like that there needs to be like.
Some regulations going on there.
Happening for family vlogging.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much, because like potentially there could be so much that goes into it. It could be not, they could easily just be like, oh, you don't want to film today? Okay, cool, sounds good. And then like just not let the kid film and like just do whatever the heck they want to do.
So what do you feel about celebs? Like Kylie Jenner's pregnant now.
Right.
So she,
oh my God, yes. Oh, that's so cute.
Miss Kylie's on to her second.
Yes, so cute. I love that for her. Congratulations,
Miss Kylie. We're happy for you. So what do you think? I mean, the Kardashians filmed Keeping Up with the Kardashians for 20 years.
When Kendall and Kylie were kids.
Oh, yeah. They were kids growing up on that. And then now they have their kids on it.
See, well, I think the thing is for me, I think that Kendall is Kendall Jenner and she'll always be Kendall Jenner. And she's built her entire empire off being Kendall. She hasn't built it off Stormy.
No.
And that's where the difference for me. Like, this is where the family vlogger thing gets into it because it's like you're family vlogging and your entire essence revolves around you and your kids.
There was already an empire before there were children.
Exactly. And like, did the children help? I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
You know, like you see a photo with a child, they're getting more likes.
I mean, look at like when they announce they're having a new baby or like having a baby or they post with their kids.
Trending on Twitter.
When any influencer posts with their kids.
More likes. It's just what it is, because people like to see that connection, that happiness.
They do.
Because honestly, a lot of time when you're posting a photo with your kid, you're just happier.
Yeah.
You exude this happiness that just like, and you double tap.
People love it. You get more likes. Get more clout, get more comments.
Yes, exactly.
And so there's a lot to benefit from it. So I think just as YouTubers, though, I do think celebrities in the field do the exact same thing. So, you know, maybe not only influencers should be, I feel like influencers get held liable for so much, but then celebrities do the exact same thing. And it's like, but they're a celebrity. And it's like, wait, no, it's a child. It's doing the same thing. So you have to think of it that way, because there's so many celebrities out there that don't even show their kids' face. Kristen Cavallari doesn't.
Which I appreciate, though,
she has 3
in
kids.
A way.
They don't show Dax Shepard, Kristen Bell. They have 2 girls. They don't show their face ever. So it can be their choice to be famous if they want to. I don't think there's an issue with showing your child. I mean, if your mother is an icon, then your mother is an icon.
Absolutely.
For God's sake,
you can't help it.
You were born into that, just as other people are born into different situations. That's the hand that you are dealt. So I don't see an issue with like showing your babies, posting with your babies. It's just like people always have to take it too far, and to the point where we need regulation.
Exactly, and that's kind of where we got to this point now, and I feel like the camel's back has been broken, and we're currently here, and it's like, dude, like we're so far gone now. Like it's like you see these videos and you see these things happening, and it's like you see obviously the brands like
it makes you worrisome.
It makes you freaked out, because it's like, okay, well it was like people take a mile from an inch, and it's like, dude, like it could have been such a nice thing, but then people just have to take it so much farther than it needs to go.
Right.
And now I think that there actually does need to be regulations in the social media sphere. But see, like I was saying, like, I think the difference is that family vlogging is dedicated to them and their kids, and that's how they built their brand, was them and their children. The celebrities, most of the time, they're celebrities, and their kid, they already had it, and the kids included, but like they're not part of the brand.
They're not famous because of their kids.
They're not famous because of kids.
Whereas vlog channels are famous because. I'll ask you a question. Do you think sometimes vlogger families channel have more kids to get more views?
Yes.
I do too.
I deadass do. I think that they see their engagement when they're pregnant or when they're about to have another kid, that it goes up. And I think that they'll want to have more kids because it like spikes it back up again. That blows it up. More money. I mean, this is, again, our opinion. This is what we personally think. We're speculating. This is what we just think. And, you know, it's an open topic of discussion. Like, that's, like, the fun part about the pod. Again, comment whatever you guys want to comment. But, like, to me, like, that's what it looks like on the outside looking in. It does seem that way. Especially if you're on our side of things. Yeah. When you're on our side of things and you know incomes and you know what you get for this and you know what you get for that. How much work goes into it. You know how much work is going into it. It makes you start to think differently. You think a little deeper about it. You think a little deeper. You start to see through a little clearer because it's already in our realm, in our world. Right. And we know how all that works. So it does lead you to maybe think that they are possibly growing these families huge for more views, more clout, more attention. I mean, the more views, the thing is, it's not always about being famous. It's about making money. And the more you get attention anywhere on social media, the more money you're going to be making. Period. So that's what makes us think those things. Yeah, I mean, I honestly can't help but think that. Like, I do. I know. I can't help it. I wish I didn't. I wish my mind didn't go there immediately. And I'm just like, I hope that they're just having kids for fun. And But like, so then, but why are you posting more? Yeah. When you have having the kid, like you post, like, let's say if you went from posting once a week to 5 times a week. Once you've had a new kid, that's like, it does seem like a disingenuous situation. It seems fishy. It seems a little fishy to me because it's like, are you taking advantage of the new likes? Yeah. And the new engagement? Like, it's weird. Are you having children for engagement? What? That's so crazy. That's see, like I can't help it because we're influencers. We can't help but think that. Exactly. Maybe that's not what it is. No, it could not be. It could not be. It could not be. We just know too much information. We just know so much, and that makes us speculate. And like, you know, people be doing crazy shit for views. That's why I say it. Yeah, they do the craziest shit for views. And I'm like, would you have a kid for views? Yeah, like dead ass. Yeah. Absolutely. And I feel like they would. I would have a kid for views. You're a fucking liar. You would have had it by now. I know. Everybody's their mom wants me to have a kid. I'm like, I know. Yeah. If I have a kid, I'll put it on social media. Well, yeah, because it's part of your life, though. It's part of your life. But again,
I didn't build my career off of
your kid. That's a whole different situation.
It is different.
You can always include your kid in your life. Obviously, like, share what you want to share. But when it becomes this thing where it's like you depend on your kid for it, that's where the issue lies. Because then you start to think of your kid as a fucking check.
As an asset.
Like
and a check. Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Like, that's really scary. You have to really reevaluate. I mean, even if you're a freaking vloggers out there, if you're listening to us, probably not. But like, you gotta freaking be careful.
Yeah.
Because it's really like, I mean, I don't know if it's easy, but it definitely can become a thing where you see your kid as a check.
Do you know what I've learned in life? And this is learned through horrible experiences and good experiences. Anything, this may sound random, but it kind of reminds me of this. I've noticed that anything that I really, really want in life, like so eagerly and so badly, and I want to manifest it, and I want to make it happen no matter what, like a goal or whatever that may be. I noticed that life, it works out so much better if you put your hard work in and then you just kind of sit back and be really patient for things to come your way. But it's not about just doing things it's not about not doing anything and be like, I'm just going to manifest and this is just going to come to me.
Totally.
Put in the work and then good things come your way. But what leads me to that conversation is family channels will go to no end to make things happen, and that's where you get yourself in trouble.
And this is when situations happen, like LeBrant and Jordan Cheyenne and things like that, where you took it too far because you were trying to find this like thing.
You want it so bad. You want those views so bad. You want that clout so bad. You'll do anything
for it, and you cannot like sacrifice your kids for that.
And because now you got people making a podcast about it.
Exactly. Because, I mean, honestly, it's a very serious thing. It's your children. Like, they need to be protected and looked out for. And, you know, we obviously don't know everyone's life situation, but that's why that's the point of us doing the podcast, is that I think that there should be some type of regulations, and we both do, on social media in general, whether it's different apps having different regulations, whether YouTube having, I mean, honestly, it's YouTube that should have the real regulations, because you can monetize the platform so easily.
Yeah.
That is what should have real regulations on it, or at least like an advocate for the kids in some way.
I feel like Google is a good, smart group of people. They could figure something out.
They can totally figure it out.
I don't think it's our job to figure it out.
No. I mean, we don't know how.
Y'all need to figure it out.
We don't know how. I mean, it's not our job to like figure it out, but I think it's our job to be able to talk about these things and
let
spread
them know.
Awareness that we need to put things in effect to help kids out.
And listen, I'm not against
families.
I'm not against the families out there.
Families, yep.
The flaming families. I'm not against it. Like, I'm happy for everybody, but there are red flags. We've addressed them.
Totally. There's been red flags recently, and we're just kind of popping them out.
The red flags come up like every day more and more, though.
Exactly.
So it's a little shocking.
We are doing secrets today, you guys. We're going to end it off with secrets. Maybe we'll do every other episode. We'll do like end it with a secret or end it with advice or whatever it might be.
Yep.
You know, either or, but I have some secrets pulled out.
I'm so excited. These always get so fucking crazy.
I love them.
I like want a secret, like, I don't know. Like,
I know.
I stole a candy bar from the gas station.
No, they're always much more real.
Wild as hell. All right.
Much more. Okay.
Lay one on us.
So we have had a threesome with my then best friend and her husband. Had a threesome with my then best friend and her husband. ... He's my husband now.
Oh, that's why you don't do that. That's why you don't play. Right there.
You don't fuck around.
That's why you don't fuck around, because then
he's my husband now. I literally like reading that. It makes me want to say like, he's my husband now. It makes me want to have like this sexy, crazy voice.
Yeah. I feel like
had a threesome with my then best friend and her husband.
Let me tell you what's gonna happen.
He's my husband.
Let me gonna tell you what's gonna happen next. Shit is gonna hit thy fan, and all three of y'all are gonna be in a living hell with each other.
In a world of hurt.
A world of hurt, and all three of you. But I hope you had fun.
With the voice. I hope you had fun. But like the idea that you can sleep with your best friend and their husband, and then no longer the best friend's out of the picture, and it's you and the husband.
Girl, tried it. Girl,
no. It's too much. It's too much. Like I'm unable. Like I can't.
I appreciate you sharing that secret with us.
The candor. We love the candor.
We love, because that was bold.
That's a doozy.
That's a doozy.
And it's bold, and we appreciate you for sharing that with us, because we live.
We live. But mistakes have been made.
Okay, this one could also fall almost like into advice / secret.
Okay, I love that.
Why does it bother me so much that my husband watches porn? How are other wives okay with it?
But like, how much is he watching?
I don't know. This is when we need more backstory.
We need more backstory. So let's say he's watching.
Let's say he's watching a ton every
day.
And like instead of like being with her, he watches porn.
I would be very bothered.
I would be bothered too.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's say on the antithesis, like he just watches it here and there, but she's still bothered by just like here and there.
I feel like you could. I personally probably wouldn't be bothered by it, but I could understand why you would be bothered by it.
But she's asking, why does it bother her so much? Like why? Like why does it bother her?
Because watching another woman fucking.
Yeah, because there's like this thing of like there's almost like this jealousy in it. Like you almost feel like, well, why are you watching her and not watching me?
Yeah.
It becomes that, and like that's not an abnormal feeling. Like
porn
it's
addiction's
not
real. I'm not trying to say this girl's
husband
has porn addiction, but it's real, and it's like a fine line. People get caught up in this fantasy world and porn, which isn't real life, and I'm hoping the situation isn't that he's watching more porn than he's porning with his wife.
Of porning, yes, of course, whether he's porning with his wife. But like what we're saying is that don't feel like you're weird for being like insecure about him watching a lot of porn.
Absolutely not.
Don't feel weird about that.
No.
Like that's not something to feel weird about. I would feel. I think that if I was in that shoe, and let's say if he was watching it all the time, if he was like here and there, I would be like, girl.
I've never caught Ty watching porn before. Never.
Really?
I've never like caught him watching. I'm sure he has here and there, but I've like never seen it.
But what would you do if you did?
I don't know. I might just be like, because me and Ty are
would you like scoot over?
Like we're very communicative.
Yeah,
like we've been together. We kind of grew up together in a way forever. So for us, like we have a very like we communicate a lot.
Very open.
So I'd be like, oh my God, what are you watching?
Yeah, no, that's honestly what it would be.
Let me see.
Scoot over. I'm jumping on.
Yeah.
That's literally what it would be. But it's because but your relationship's not the same as everyone's, you know?
I know.
But I'm hoping that if you have an issue with it, you should probably definitely talk to him about it.
But if Ty was literally watching porn all the time,
that's weird.
It would be weird.
Yeah. I think it'd be weird too. I wouldn't be cool with that.
Yeah.
It would need to be.
You would tell Ty not to, wouldn't you?
I would. I mean, Ty, stop. What the fuck am I saying? Ty, stop watching porn. Go have sex with Laura. Right now. No, I would be really weirded out. If it was an all the time thing, I'd be weirded out as fuck.
Me too.
But it's not abnormal to feel weirded out about it because it is like you're literally like he's oogling another person and that's not you.
Yeah.
And that's your husband.
Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, it's different if you're like watching porn together. If you're watching porn together,
I feel
whole
her,
different
though.
situation.
I feel her.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got anything else?
Should I do one more?
Do one more. These are so fun.
I slept with my best friend's dad.
Is the best friend's dad single? They don't ever give us enough context.
We don't have enough context. It's just I slept with my best friend's dad.
I've seen a lot of this on TikTok.
It's very a fantasy.
It is.
It's very a fantasy. We've
growing
all had
up,
it.
I've never been attracted to one of my friend's dads.
I think I have a little.
I know you have.
I feel like I have a little bit.
Never. But I will say, now that I'm older, like I find like men in like their 50s
attractive.
Very attractive.
Right.
Like
because
45,
as you've
50,
gotten older.
Some men, they be looking better and better with age.
They be aging good,
Ty
though.
looks better with age.
Absolutely.
Every year it gets hotter and I get uglier.
No, you don't. You get prettier and prettier. You're like fine wine, just getting better with age.
I wish.
But no, I I definitely have been attracted to like friends' dads
You like
before.
older men.
Okay, sexually.
Yeah.
But not like dating.
Manny is looking for a bear between the ages of 40 and 50 to take
I'm not looking for a bear specifically. Laura swears I'm not looking for a bear. I'm looking for love.
Sure. How young would you date?
How young would I date?
What's the youngest age you would like be in a relationship with?
I would say that's a really good question, honestly, because I feel like I'm all about like connection and like if you're mature for your age, that's awesome. But like I don't think I would go lower.
When does that happen?
I mean, not often, unless like they've gone through some crazy shit. Then usually that happens. But like anything like 21 and lower, no.
Manny, that is so young.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think I could tolerate a child.
Well, the thing is, like, I know. So like my brother was dating someone recently, and they were 7 years apart, and it worked so gorgeously, and I loved that. And I was like, okay, well, 7 years could be like my limit too.
But how old is your brother?
Lower. He's 26.
See, you could if you dated a 26-year-old, I would be like, absolutely, like that could definitely be a moment. But when you're in them young 20s, girl, I'm only speaking from experience.
No,
you have to remember, 100%. I used to be in my young 20s.
Yes.
So I'm like, I did not need to be in a mature relationship.
100%. It just honestly really depends on everyone's like maturity levels too. Like, I've met 30-year-olds that are acting like 18-year-olds.
Acting a fool.
And I've met 21-year-olds that act like 30-year-olds. Yeah. So it's like, it really just depends on that, but I wouldn't go younger than like 7 years.
Okay.
Younger than me.
Love it.
I think that'd be like my limit.
Was curious, thought
and
I'd
older-wise,
ask.
I don't really have a limit.
If I were divorced, I will never be divorced. But if I were single and was dating, I would only date someone probably 35 to 40.
Yeah.
Above. I wouldn't date anyone younger than me.
Yeah.
And they also need to have their shit fully together because I'm not helping with that.
You're like, I'm not going to be a sugar mama.
I've already done it myself, like gotten my shit together.
Yes.
So now I would, if I
you need to get your shit together too.
Yes, that person needs to have it together. And if I need to be single forever because I can't find that, that's fine too.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I believe wholeheartedly in the fact that like I would rather be happily single than sad with someone.
Oh yeah.
I always do that. I'll never like.
That's good advice.
I'll never stoop myself lower just for the idea of being with someone.
Right.
Because I feel lonely.
Right. That's really good advice. Like maybe some people need to hear that.
Oh, I hope that does resonate with some people. But
yeah,
I've never been like that. I've never even been in a full long-term relationship because I'm not the settled type. So
yeah. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed today's episode.
We hope you loved it.
We end on a relationship note.
Oh my God, I'm so excited that like this is our first episode that like we've got to hear feedback and just like it's cool to me
and get to like talk back
and
with you guys.
Yes, it's been cool.
P.S. Shout out to Ty who's helping us
with the setup.
Oh, thank you, Ty.
Bless his heart and soul.
Ty is going to be running a lot of the show.
We need him.
We need him. Ty
and
runs majority of my show.
Well, honestly, Tyler's amazing.
He is. He's
so we're
best.
Lucky to have him.
He's literally like, tell me what do you need? I'll get it. I'll set it up.
No, he's the best. We are lucky to have him.
We are.
Because I have him as well.
You do.
Like honestly, because I'm besties with Laura, I'm also besties with Tyler. Like it's
you literally.
It's a three-way
Me and Manny rarely hang out without Ty.
It's rare.
Yeah.
Like Tyler's always there and he's always present. He's always part of the conversations.
Yes. He
like
loves
he's there.
I'll even tell him like Manny's coming over tonight, so like no golf.
Don't do anything.
Yeah, don't do anything.
Exactly.
So he gets excited when you come over. He loves hanging out with you.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear. I love Tyler. I love you both, obviously. So
we love you.
But that's it, you guys. That's it for episode number 4.
We hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to smash that subscribe button or follow, rate, and review us if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Please, we would really, really appreciate you guys. This is our, again, new thing for us. We want to be able to
We're trying to build this. We're trying to grow this thing, do our best. So we hope you guys are enjoying it. But
share it, tell your friends, tell your mom.
It helps us so much when we get shared.
Please, we really, really appreciate it. And reviews and things like that. So we will love that. And with that being said,
we'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Mwah.